I hit the brakes so hard my truck fishtailed on the gravel, and there she was. Marla Kingsley, president of the Heritage Bluffs HOA, standing dead center on my rain tank like she was christening a battleship, wrench in hand, dumping over 6,000 gallons of clean rainwater onto my land. I hadn't even gotten out of the truck before she whipped around, screamed into her phone. 911! He's armed and threatening me! I was holding tacos. Now hang on, let me back up before the sirens start blaring. Name's Eli Granger. I'm a 45-year-old Army vet who bought a quiet little ranch in Clearwater Ridge, Colorado. 60 acres, chickens, 2 tanks for rainwater, and a view that'll shut you up mid-sentence. I picked this land because it wasn't in an HOA. Peace was what I paid for. Or so I thought. Marla moved in 2 years ago when a new HOA subdivision popped up just over the southern ridge. Cookie-cutter houses, pristine sidewalks, and people who think they're sheriffs just 'cause they wear windbreakers with acronyms on the chest. From day one, she made it her mission to beautify the area. And apparently, my ranch didn't fit her Pinterest board. She complained my rooster crowed too loud, that my barn needed repainting to match their neutral aesthetic. Lady, I'm raising crops, not hosting a wedding. Last week I took a trip to visit my sister up in Montana. Left Ryan, good buddy of mine, teaches high school on chicken duty. Day 2, I get a call. Eli, he says, some lady in a tan jacket is poking around your tanks. She flashed a clipboard, said she had authority. I told him not to engage, just snap a photo. But by the time he looped back, she was gone. I cut my trip short, drove through the night. The second my tires hit my gravel drive, I saw fresh tracks, then puddles, then Marla, in her beige HOA gear, yanking my main tank valve like it owed her money. Hey! I shouted. She turned, sunglasses askew, face frozen. Then boom, full-blown Oscar performance. There's a violent man! He's threatening me! And the clincher? He's armed! I was holding leftover tacos and a Gatorade, sirens in the distance. I stood there, one hand in the air, the other clutching tacos, trying to figure out how I was about to get arrested on my own land. Then Ryan skidded up behind me. She's trespassing. We've got footage. But Marla doubled down. Now there's 2 of them. 2 angry men. Deputies pull in. One of them jumps out and shouts, Step back! Hands visible! I froze. Marla, still up on the tank, waves something metallic. Ryan whispers, Is that a wrench? The deputy lifts his weapon. Everything slowed. My heart pounded. My water rushed out of the tank like a waterfall, and I hadn't even unpacked my truck. Eventually, after a whole mess of yelling, pointing, and Ryan producing the video, the younger deputy starts piecing things together. Ma'am, he says, this property isn't under your HOA jurisdiction. But Marla's got another story ready. We expanded. He's illegally harvesting subdivision water. I almost laughed. Almost. We showed zoning maps. Ryan gave his witness statement. Eventually they let me go, but not before asking if I wanted to press charges, I said. Not yet. That was my mistake. 2 days later, a cease and desist letter shows up. $2,500 fine for unauthorized environmental modifications. What does that even mean? And then came the trio. 3 HOA board members marched onto my land with drones, measuring tapes and matching polo shirts like they were about to renovate the Alamo. I told them they were trespassing. According to our expanded territorial map, one of them said, You're within our HOA boundary now. I said, Buddy, this ain't Monopoly. He smirked. You'll be hearing from our legal team." And they left, after recording my tanks with the drone and uploading footage to their HOA site. That night, the emergency tank got hit. Again. This time, someone had cut the lock and sprayed paint over the cameras. Water drained out slow and steady. And just like before, fresh footprints, small, probably a woman's, leading back to the ridge. Ryan came by at dawn. "Eli, this isn't harassment anymore. This is sabotage." I nodded. Time to go public. We shot a simple video. Me holding up my deed and zoning maps explaining the whole mess. I posted it online. By evening, I had veterans commenting, strangers offering water barrels, even a local reporter called. But Marla, she doubled down. She called a tow truck. One night later, a yellow-beaconed beast rolled up to my gate. The driver, a tired-looking guy in a ball cap, says he's there to repossess my rain tanks per HOA orders. "You what?" I asked. "No court order, no jurisdiction." He shrugs. "Paid job. Talk to the HOA." I stood in his path, phone in hand, already dialing 911. Deputy arrives, recognizes me. I hand over deed, maps, the whole paper trail. He looks at the driver. "You touch anything here, you're committing theft." The driver put his hands up and backed off. But that was when I knew Marla wasn't going to stop. Then came the night of the crowbar. The backup tank, my last one, got ripped clean off its foundation. Security cam caught it all. Marla, hoodie over her head, and another figure, maybe one of her board members, pried the tank down like it was garbage. Just walked in, tipped it, and walked out. I sent the footage to my lawyer, Tom. He's the kind of guy who looks like he was forged out of gravel in lawsuits. "That's felony vandalism," he said. "I'm calling the sheriff myself." And this time they didn't just come. They came angry. They watched the footage, took tire track samples, fingerprinted the crowbar. When they asked me, "Do you want to press all charges?" I didn't hesitate. The story hit the news, local first, then national. Marla, held a press conference, spun the whole thing like she was protecting the neighborhood from a toxic runoff threat. Meanwhile, residents from her own HOA started leaking group chats, screenshots of Marla bragging about breaking me. One board member resigned. Another apologized to me in person. But Marla still had one more card to play, eminent domain. She claimed my land was essential to their stormwater drainage system, that it needed to be absorbed into the HOA. Her lawyer, real fancy, big city type, filed paperwork saying my tanks were environmental hazards. We countered with expert reports, zoning documents, hydrology studies, all showing their subdivision was the one dumping runoff onto my land. We went to court, state level. I wore my old army jacket. Marla showed up late, holding a binder like a Bible. When the judge asked, "Is that you in the footage tipping the tank?" her lawyer stammered. Then we played the group chat leaks, the drone footage, the vandalism clips. It was over. The court ruled against her. HOA fined $65,000. Marla personally liable. Restraining order issued. She couldn't come within 100 feet of my land. And when she tried appealing, claiming community interest, the judge sanctioned the entire HOA for abuse of court process. That night, I stood on my porch, watching the last bit of dust settle over the hills. Finally, no sirens, no fake fines, no HOA patrols, just my land, my peace. So, who was really in the wrong here?